going to give you a quick look at the new X5 Legion grips and talk a little bit about the X5 Legion in general, just at a high level. This is not an X5 Legion. This is actually just parts from, an old school X5, but I did throw an X5 Legion grip on it. I understand that at some point these grips will probably be available for sale from SIG. I've seen Max Michel talk about them and throw out. I don't think there's a date or anything like that, but it sounds like something that SIG would make available at some point. They look very much the same, except obviously just a little bit of different color than the traditional X5 grips. They are dramatically different, and it's pretty amazing when you actually pick it up how much heavier these things are. I mean, it's hard to describe until you pick up this piece of what looks like polymer, but SIG has infused tungsten powder into this polymer. So this is not a coating. This is actually the natural color once SIG has infused that polymer with the tungsten. And actually these two I threw in some Springer Precision extended magazine releases that seem to work really, really well. So as far as what this does, this is going to be rough, about 8 ounces heavier than the X5 grip with the grip weight in it. That's pretty significant. And one of the things that it does is, as I'm balancing this, as opposed to the X5, if I'm balancing here at the trigger guard, it's going to spin over on me, right? This actually pretty much balances right at the bottom of the trigger guard there, which is really, really kind of cool, because one fear of putting a lot of weight in the grip is that could make the gun want to flip a little bit more. That's why things like tungsten guide rods. So get shout Springer. This one has a that's not a Springer tungsten guide rod. I have some from Springer. That one came from my buddy Scott at SPD Tools, who makes these nice little range rods. He made that one for me as an early prototype. So thanks, Scott, for that one. And then Scott Springer, of course, is from Springer Precision, who makes them and sells the tungsten guide rods elsewhere. But so it does sort of the same thing as far as the balance. It puts way more of that weight and that balance out front. Even if you have like a heavier, so like this is one of the grips that I have, I shoot my carry optics with, that has some tungsten embedded in it, but it's all in the handle. I'm really, really excited to see what shooting this grip actually feels like with more of that weight being distributed. Again, just essentially like a steel gun, and it feels, and the sucker's over 10 ounces just as it sits with the grip, like pretty well over 10 ounces just as it sits there. Really, really cool so far. It's more like something, I'm going to say it's something like around 14 ounces with the grip weight and everything. I don't have the exact weight on it, and there's a reason for that, but I can't get into that now. As far as the rest of what you've seen and heard from the Legion X5, again, it's not a Legion X5. It's going to be pretty similar to this, with Henning base pads is what they come with. I think got these from Henning at the Wyoming Governor's 3-gun match the previous year. So thanks to Henning for those, for putting those on the prize table. It's going to have a new trigger. This is the old style straight trigger that comes on the X guns now. The new trigger, SIG is saying that it actually is something like, I think it was like 25% lighter than the previous trigger. I don't know how it compares yet to the gray guns. I've been using the gray guns for a long time. They're really, really excellent. So we'll have to wait and see what that trigger it looks like and feels like. It looks really cool for the new X5. And of course, with the X5 Legion, it's going to have the optics cut for the new Romeo 1 Pro or the Delta Point Pro instead of for the legacy Romeo 1 optic, which again, mine works really, really good. And for everybody who hates dirty guns, ooh, yeah, that one's still runs. Maybe I'll clean that later, do a video. I've had some people ask for that. But so expect the new footprint on the plate. Also on Phil's video, Phil Strader's video from SIG, go and look at that if you haven't yet. It comes with a stainless, full-length stainless guide rod, similar to this one again, but you're talking stainless. and a 14-pound 1911 spring. And he said he has a 12-pound 1911 recoil spring in the box too, if you want to go really, really light on it. Really, really cool additions as far as bringing the trigger weight down, including the nice guide rod with the springs from the factory. The only thing, like you might say, it's negative about it, and it's not necessarily negative, is using the 17-round mags and the Hennings instead of doing like the 21-round mags, 4 of those, which was what used to come with the P320 X5s, along with the magwell, of course, and that would still come with the magwell. I get that, because if you're shooting USPSA production division, then you had to get completely new magazines instead of being able to use the 4 that were there. Also, of course, 17-round magazines, the ones that shipped from the factory, didn't really work with the magazine well. So go into an aftermarket aluminum extended base pad that gives you the ability to use these 17-round magazines in something like IDPA ESP, or take the magwell off and then use them for USPSA production. And then you can use some Springer Precision 140mm extensions on those 17-round magazines if you want to go to 23 rounds, like what we do with like a Carry Optics or a Limited or a 3-gun or something else like that. So the Legion is going to be really cool. This is going to be a really nice gun, and I'm excited to get one. Heading out to SIG Academy next week, and maybe I'll post a video on that, doing a Kyle Lamb class. So pretty excited there. But between that and SIG's P365 XL, I mean, they're going to get some more sales from me for sure. Thanks for watching the video. Have a great night.